Hi, I'm Harrison. What's your name?
Chris Watson.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Harrison. How are you?
So what might you do to make your money?
To make money?
Or live?
Well, EverSpark Interactive, we are a full-service, 360-degree SEO-centric digital marketing company. I'm going to explain it to you. But I only have 2 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So have you ever gone to the internet?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever used Google?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you ever bought anything from Google?
Other than Amazon, not Google, but I've bought stuff from Amazon.
Okay. So what are you into? Like maybe video games and stuff like that?
Video games, soccer,
okay.
A bunch of things like that.
So if you go to Google, now you might not buy something from Google, but just I'm trying to explain it in a way that would make sense to you. If you go to Google and type in a type of game that you want, like a war game or first-person shooter or something like that, there's always a first result, right? But there's a lot of companies who want that first result. There's more companies that supply that product than is the number one result. And companies want to be that number one result. So when companies need that to happen for their companies, they come to us. But it goes a little bit deeper, because when you click on that website, if the website is a bad website, you probably wouldn't buy, right? Okay, so our job is to get those top rankings on Google and Bing and Yahoo. There's a number of things called search engines. But when they get there, we have to make sure that we're optimizing their page so that people actually purchase their product or hire them or call them or actually take action. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Makes great sense.
Good. That's what we do.
I think I'm ready.
Impressive. 1:40.
Hey.
Good job.
It's not an easy concept. We spent hours explaining it to people on stage.
How difficult? How difficult is simplicity?
Right.
It's so difficult.
Right.
So what you do is you go and try and get the companies will go to you, I should say, and you help them be the first result on Google, Bing, Yahoo, stuff like that.
Yes, that's right. But also, being the first result is only as good as people taking action and doing something. So there's a part that's called SEO, which is search engine optimization, and then there's another part that's called conversion. So getting them there is one thing, getting a lot of traffic, but if no one takes action and buys things and does things, then you probably haven't done your job. So there's a whole world that's committed to that, and that's called 360 digital marketing. So it's not just about Google, it's also about the website and also just about traffic and video. Like you create videos, right?
Yes, sir.
And so if your video was #1 on YouTube, for a topic like business interviews or something like that, that would probably get you a lot of views, and as a result, you get a lot of business. So it's not just as simple as getting a top result. It's also about what happens with that top result and the whole world that surrounds Google and YouTube and all the other parts of the internet.
Yes, sir. So when you were little, my age, what did you want to be?
Wow. I didn't really know. I wanted to be a kid, I knew I wanted to work hard. I had my first job when I was 13, so you beat me. Good for you. I was industrious. I knew that.
What does industrious mean?
It means that I would do whatever it took to get a job. I remember going into stores. I lived in Australia for quite some time, and I remember going into stores and at the age of 12 and telling them I'm looking for work. I just wanted to work. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I wanted to work. So, I find myself here now. We've had this company for 6 years, and I think one of the problems with our society is we ask questions of kids that are in high school immediately to go into college and know exactly what they want to do. And I have children, so one of the things I want to do with them is when they finish high school, I want them to travel and go find out about the world before they answer that type of question.
I get it. So, if you could go back, what would you change about your job? Like, what would you do better?
What would I do better about this place?
I mean, it's an amazing building.
Well, thank you. Hindsight's always 20/20. You've heard that before?
No.
Well, it means, for looking at it now, I can see it perfectly. I probably would have hired better. I would have had a plan. We live in a world where Google changes all the time, and so our job is to understand those changes and to make sure that we're paying attention And so it's almost impossible to say where we are now. We should have been doing certain things back then, because back then certain things worked. And we hired people that did things that worked back then, but those same skills aren't relevant now. So it's not as easy as a question to answer in terms of specifically what I would do, but placing a bigger emphasis on hiring really intelligent people who are smarter than me, and making sure that they're helping me form the company. We've found it now, and we have great staff and very intelligent people now, but it hasn't always been that way.
So how did you get the name EverSpark? Like, did that just pop in your head? Or?
No, it wasn't me. It was my former business partner. It just popped in his head, and it seemed to stick. It seemed to fit that we're sparking ideas all the time, and it never ends.
I like it.
I hear it's also like a transformer. There's a transformer name or something. The EverSpark, isn't that the thing they were looking for? That was told to me about 6 months ago. I had no idea. So there you go.
It was good to meet you.
Nice to meet you, H. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else? Anything you want to ask? You don't have to. I'm just saying. Is there anything that you can think now?
How about, like, why am I so awesome? That's okay.
He asks me that every day. Right, H?
Far from.
That's damn right.